Viva Chile, viva Chile, a Chile quiero, chileno yo soy.
We're in beautiful Viña del Mar. We're doing a show actually outside today, and I'm hoping to give you some good YouTube video today so you can see what it's like in the equivalent of the United States' November, or Europe's November, here in Chile. I'll even walk around a little bit with my microphone so you can see exactly what it looks like out there. This is what you get to see when you live in Viña Beach. And we're over here in this apartment complex. Just stopped off because it's kind of just above, about 100 meters above the shoreline down there. Stairway going down, and a great place to walk and enjoy the sunset. The sunsets have just been absolutely fabulous, haven't they, Joe?
Awesome. Yep.
He's saying it's
crazy.
Really been awesome. Here, say that to the attention.
Yeah, it's just incredible weather. I can't believe we're getting into fall here. This feels like late spring.
I'd say we're about, we're not quite 30 degrees Celsius, but we're somewhere around 25 to 26, 27 degrees Celsius, in the upper 70s probably, if that makes any sense. All right, well, what do we want to talk about today? Well, there's a bunch of stuff. One is I want to get back to, has to do with our whole matter of the, I got to find a way I could be more technologically savvy and disconnect this microphone so I could walk around easier, because the thing's kind of heavy there. For those watching on YouTube, you understand my discomfort with the thing. But we're just going to do one segment outside here. There's so much glare on my screen, I'm not able to do the whole show, I don't think. And here I am trying to manage all these people, little note papers and things like that we'll be working on. But anyway, yeah, life in Chile. We really rough it here. You can see around some of the architecture down there. This is definitely first world living, and very, very lovely place to live, especially outside of the summer months, which are January and February, which is crowded with so many tourists. I want to get back and talk about where people can live on any budget in Chile. I started that at the end of last segment, last show, and I want to pick that up again, but I prefer to do that when I'm sitting down in my office. So it's going to be after this segment's over that we get back to that. And I'm also going to get onto a couple other topics that I'd rather do inside than out. I do want to mention a few things about Chile, though, that people ask and want to know, and I frequently get comments about, or at least once in a while. One is, do they have credit reporting in Chile? That seems like a really banal kind of topic, but it is important, and the answer is yes, they do. Equifax is here, this thing called the DICOM, or DICOM, as well as Boletín Comercial out of Santiago. All of these places run credit reports for people, the same as you would get in the US, except it's a little more dramatic here. If you have any problem on your credit report, you're pretty much done for good. There's almost nowhere you're going to get credit until you go back and repair the last problem, especially if you're going through banks. If you go through private means, it might be a little different. And there are some people that offer higher interest rates for those who have credit problems, but people have asked about that. They do not know anything about your Equifax or TransUnion or these other things you have in the United States or Europe. And when you come to Chile, you'll start with a completely clean record. You can even, when you come to Chile and get a residency permit, even if you've got a criminal record in the past, they don't necessarily find out about it. You just show up here, you put in your residency with our service, and we'll take you through the motions. And people who have been prohibited in the U.S. from ever owning a gun find out they can have a gun here again. They find out that they have no criminal record when they go get employment. And so everything starts from scratch. The same thing is true with your medical history. So there's some advantages, certainly some important advantages of coming down to Chile in terms of clearing up your past. And so some people asked me about that. I thought I'd mention it right now. Also, I want to mention that we have a couple news items here. The Fundo A, or the AFP, that's the Social Security system, the stock market fund, did a whopping 1.84% return in April of 2014. So that's big news in Chile, because that's a pretty good return. We've kind of had flat returns, not flat, but they've been sort of mediocre, the 8% per year to 12%, 13% per year for a while. And all of a sudden they're starting to pick up again, mostly invested in Chilean stocks. So that's some news. Another thing big newsworthy in Chile this week is the whole deal about the visa waiver program being in jeopardy. Some of the communists and other Democrats are trying to really ruffle the United States' feathers. So the ambassador Hammer here has been telling them, look, you're going to lose your visa waiver program. Chile is the only Latin American country that you can now go to the United States without having a visa. In fact, it's only one of 32 countries in the world that have the privilege of going to the land of the free. It's a big status symbol for Chile. And sure enough, we have people in the communists and the others trying to say, well, this is too much. The United States is asking all these questions that are privacy questions, and that we shouldn't be divulging just to participate in their war on terrorism. Actually, it's one of those few times, in some ways, I'm very sympathetic with the left. I don't want anything being divulged to the United States or the FBI or any of these NSA kind of agencies. But I will say that they aren't asking for a whole lot. It's name, address, past criminal record. I think that's about it. I haven't seen all the details, but it looks like it's not a whole lot they're asking for. They're just trying to get you into a big database, and if you want to travel to the land of the free, then that's the price you pay. If you're Chilean, you don't have to pay a visa now, at least, and you can stay for 90 days without any problem. Now, it's another thing whether they would really want to go to the land of the free. I mean, some people are still fascinated, and I guess it's a great thing to do, to visit New York or visit for a week here or there, and come back to a better country. That's fine, but at least that is a big issue in Chile because it's a status symbol for them. Wow, we can actually go to the U.S. ahead of everybody else. So that's big in the news, and the left and the center left are talking about this quite a bit. Also have the Kuntsmann headquarters. You know anything about Kuntsmann? The Germans who put a beer company down in Valdivia, last couple centuries ago, or well, when they first got here in the late mid 1800s, that burned down just yesterday. So that's big news down in Valdivia area. The headquarters for the Kuntsmann. And let me check with my producer. We're coming close to, I don't have my show clock here handy, folks, so if you're watching on YouTube, you're kind of seeing me floundering out here with my notes like this and carrying this heavy microphone. Well, we also have a few other pieces of news we can cover quickly. One is, don't think just because you're looking how beautiful Viña is down there that you can't get traffic. There aren't very good streets here. The governments don't take good care of it because there's a war between the federal government and the local government. So that's one thing. But when they get crowded, as soon as you have any visitors coming here from Santiago or any other part of Chile, around the world, Argentina, Brazil, a lot of them come here, and it gets packed. And during rush hour, it gets packed. And I'll tell you what, I was riding and checking out the public transportation system the other day, and just to get down from, say, the middle between Valparaiso and Viña was over an hour in sitting in the bus. So you certainly have traffic problems here in Chile and Viña del Mar, as well as places like Santiago, which is every day, but not as bad as Sao Paulo and other countries I've seen. But still, you can get them even here in Viña. So when you are planning on a place to live and you want to avoid traffic, bear that in mind. However, in Viña, it's avoidable. You just don't go out during rush hour, especially if you're retired. You don't need to go out during those rush hour periods. And during the summer months, why would you want to live here in Viña when you could go down to the beautiful south of Chile and enjoy the lakes and the mountains? Well, all these folks are here enjoying the sun, and literally millions, I don't know how many, a couple million, probably more people moved to Viña from Santiago, Argentina, and Brazil. All right, well, we're coming close to the end of the break here. Just a reminder, if you have a question or comment, want to talk about this beautiful place, ChileAdvisoryGroup@gmail.com, and check out the website, escapeamericanow.info. You're listening to the Overseas Radio Network. This is Red Hot Chile. Dr. John Coben, and we'll be right back.